Functional Fitness Friday with a little bit of guided breathing at the end. No, I'm not Quinn today. I am subbing. So I do have a really good workout plan for us today. I'm going to be working a little bit on some single leg stability as well as some upper body work. And then we are going to be doing 45 seconds of work, 15 seconds of rest or transition time. And then we're going to be doing that 3 rounds through. And then we'll do a little bit of stretching before we get into our breathing exercise at the end. So I'm going to go ahead, get started with our demos here. So what we're going to do, first off, we're going to do some staggered squats. I need to fix my camera. So we're going to do staggered squats here. So what we're going to do is we're going to have all of our weight on one foot, and then on our other foot, it's just going to be the toe. So right now, the majority of my weight, mat back a little bit. So all my weight is on my right foot here. My toe is in line with the arch of my foot, still under my hip, squatting down, pushing through the ground, heel big to little toe, standing back up. What we're going to do too here is we're going to do it nice and slow on the way down. So we're going to take 3 seconds down. So we're going to do 1, 2, 3, and then explode up. So we're going to do 45 seconds on one leg, and then we'll switch over to the other side. So same thing, toe right underneath the hip, squatting down, letting your knees track past the second toe, push the ground away and stand back up. So from this angle here, going down nice and slow, 3 seconds, using my left foot. So all that is in my left glute there. My right foot is just there for stability. So those are our first 2 movements. Then our second 2 movements, what we're going to do is we're going to be on the ground. We're going to do some single leg push-ups. So what we're going to do is we're going to be on the hands and toes, and we're going to do all on one leg and then all on the other leg. So hands underneath the shoulders. And then what we're going to do is just lift one foot up off the ground. So we're going to keep that glute squeeze, and we're going to do an eccentric push-up. So slowing down 1, 2, 3 until we're all the way flat on the ground. And then we can get up however we need to. And then same leg staying, going down nice and slow. Making sure I don't want anyone just flopping on the ground. We're going to lower the self nice and slow until our chest and our hips hit the ground at the same time. And like I said, get up however you need to. And we're going to do all on one leg and then all on the other leg. So that is going to be our next few movements. And then we're going to finish out here. We're going to do some dead bugs. And with these dead bugs, what we're going to do is we're going to hold for 3 seconds at the bottom. So dead bug here, hands above the shoulders, knees above the hips. We're going to extend opposite arm, opposite leg out. Goodness. Opposite arm, opposite leg. There we go. Hold for 3 seconds as the leg is extended, and then back up. So we have 1, 2, 3, and back up. Want to make sure our belly button is pressed into the ground, pelvis is tucked. We're keeping that core nice and tight. As we pull the leg back in, it's like we're zipping up, bringing it back in. So that's going to be the workout for today. So we're going to get a lot of single leg work, and then we're going to get a lot of chest work in with those push-ups. So we're going to go ahead and do a quick warm up, and then we'll be ready to rock and roll. So what we're going to do is we're going to stretch out our quads a little bit first. So we're going to be on the ground in a half kneeling position. And we're going to do a little bit of a hip flexor and hamstring stretch. So we're going to do 2 on each side. So for the hip flexor stretch, we're going to have 1 knee on the ground, 1 foot on the ground. We're going to tuck our pelvis. We're going to squeeze the glute of the knee that's on the ground. We're going to gently bring those hips forward. We want to stay nice and tall through the torso. Bring in our same arm of the knee that's on the ground above head. If that's too intense, don't need to put your hand up if you don't want to. We're going to take a nice big deep belly breath. And we're exhaling, rocking our hips back, toes to the ceiling, chest towards the knee. Getting that nice hamstring stretch in. Nice big deep breath. And we're exhaling, rocking forward. So we're going to do 1 more on this side. So nice and tall through the torso, squeeze that glute and push those hips forward. We really want to keep that glute squeeze the whole time. That's how we help release the hip flexor and our quad. Nice big deep breath here. And we're exhaling, rocking back, toes to the ceiling, chest towards the knee. Nice big deep breath. And we're gonna go ahead and exhale and come out of that. We're gonna go ahead and switch our legs. So we got opposite knee on the ground, opposite foot on the ground. Same thing here. Core nice and tight, squeeze that glute, push those hips forward. And again, feel free to raise that same arm of the knee that's on the ground overhead. Really important too to make sure that our back is nice and flat. So we're keeping that core tight. Nice big deep breath. And we're exhaling, rocking back, toes to the ceiling, chest towards the knee. Nice big deep breath. And we're exhaling, coming forward. So last one here. So keep that core tight, squeeze the glute, push those hips forward, raising our arm above head. Nice big deep breath. And we're gonna exhale, rock back, toes to the ceiling, chest towards the knee. Nice big deep breath. And we're gonna go ahead and exhale and release. And then we're gonna go ahead, our next movement here, we're gonna do a few plank to pikes. So we're gonna get our shoulders warmed up, stretch out those calves a little bit. So we're gonna be on our hands and toes here, keeping that core nice and tight. We're gonna exhale, push our hips up towards the ceiling. We can go ahead and start to pedal those heels. So we're gonna push the left heel into the ground and push the right heel into the ground, coming up on the left toe and switching back. We're gonna do this a few times, stretch out those calves. I know mine are pretty tight today. Switching sides again. And one more each side. And switching over. And back to plank. We're gonna go ahead and push ourselves up again into our pike. And back to plank. And we're gonna push our hips up last time into that pike position. And we're gonna go ahead and walk our hands towards our feet. And hang here for a second, kind of stretch out the spine. And we're gonna go ahead and stand up, squeezing those glutes, and we are ready to rock and roll. So, like I said, we're gonna do 3 rounds of that, 45 seconds of work, 15 seconds of rest and transition time. We get the timer going, we're gonna get ready. We're starting off with staggered squats. Getting ready here, 3, 2, 1, and go. So all of our weight on one foot, toe lined up straight underneath the hip, just like a regular squat. We're going down 1, 2, 3, push the ground away, standing up. So the focus as we push through the ground, we want that heel, big toe, little toe, really driving the heel is going to activate our glutes. So we're going down nice and slow, explode up, and 1, 2, 3, explode up, pushing through the ground, use those glutes. We got 1, 2, 3, great job. And 3, 2, 1. All right, rest time. We're gonna go ahead and get ready to do that same thing on the other side. So same thing, but opposite foot. My right foot is still underneath the right hip. 3, 2, 1. So we're going nice and slow. 1, 2, 3. Making sure that at the bottom, our knee is just over that second toe. So the inside part of the knee lines up here, which is going to help. We want that chest to be open. So if we start to bend too far forward, it's not as much of a squat. So keeping that chest open, going down 3 seconds, pushing through heel, big toe, little toe. We can, if you would like, move a little bit slower on the way up as well. We don't necessarily have to do 3 seconds, but going up slow enough is going to help with the intent. So we really want to feel that in those glutes. Great job. 3, 2, 1. All right, we're resting and we're getting ready. We're going to be on the ground next. We have our single leg push-up. These again, we're going eccentric push-ups. So we're going to take 3 seconds down to the ground. 3, 2, 1. So on our hands and one toe, lowering nice and slow. Chest and hips hit at the same time on the mat. So What I tend to see happen a lot is that the hips come first. That puts all the pressure on the back. We're not really using the chest there. So we really want to keep that core tight, going slow enough, controlling our body weight down is still going to help us really strengthen our chest muscles. So keeping those elbows nice and tight here. We want about 45-degree angle as we lower ourselves. So our hands are going to be down here. 3, 2, 1. Right. So we're going to do that same thing on the other side. So again, lots of push-ups, lots of squats today. But again, hands are starting out underneath the shoulders. We lower ourselves, hands are by the ribs. 3, 2, 1. Switch legs here. So whatever leg you had up last time, we're switching sides. Was a little bit too fast. All right. Keep breathing through the movement. 1, 2, 3. Get back up however you need to. If you want to challenge yourself, feel free to push yourself back up. That's not where I'm at today physically. So I'm just going to keep doing this part. Trained chest already this morning, and I think my arms are still sore from yesterday. So great job. Keep up the good work. Finishing strong. 3, 2, 1. All right. Last part of round 1. On our backs, we have dead bugs. Holding for 3 seconds at full extension. 3, 2, 1. So knees directly above the hips. Opposite arm, opposite leg. 1, 2, 3. Pulling the leg in. So it really, I like to imagine that we have a zipper at the bottom of the core. We're zipping that up. And so we're here, we're holding. As we bring the leg in, we're zipping that core up. And that helps us use our core instead of use the legs to come back in. So I tend to feel it a little bit in the hip flexor sometimes. And that's how I know that I'm pulling with the leg versus my core. It does help also if we exhale on the way up. 3, 2, 1. All right. Round 1 is done. We're getting ready. We got staggered squats, starting with whichever leg you would like. 3, 2, 1. So again, our opposite foot is still underneath the hip. I find what happens is we tend to go out or back a little bit too far. It becomes more of a lunge versus a squat. So from this side, I'll kind of switch my direction here. My foot is still underneath my hip, but if you notice, it is not fully in line. I'm not fully using it. So it's just kind of hanging out there for support and stability, especially as we move nice and slow here through the squat, engaging lots of muscle fibers here, really getting that functional fitness going. Pushing through that heel, big toe, little toe, our foot is a tripod. 3, 2, 1. All right. 15 seconds, doing that same thing on the other leg. My quads are already feeling it. Hopefully your quad is actually doing okay here. 3, 2, 1. So again, coming down, let that knee come forward as our hips come back. So our hips go back, knee is coming forward at the same time, but we're dropping down versus pushing out or coming forward. So that's kind of that difference, is that they're moving at the same time, but we are, the point that I want to drive home here is pushing through the heel, big toe, little toe. So that heel drive is really what engages those glutes. And sometimes having weaker or underactive glutes can cause some low back pain and some hip pain. So I do want to make sure that we are still focusing on strengthening those. 3, 2, 1. All right, awesome job. Next up, we're doing push-ups, single leg push-ups, 3-second eccentric. 3, 2, 1. So you can start with whichever leg you would like. Going down nice and slow. Again, keeping those elbows nice and tight. So I like to imagine a 45-degree angle here, and then we push back up. So that's what we're aiming for here. Keeping those elbows tighter than we think we need to. Because what happens is if our hands are all the way out to the sides, puts all that pressure on our shoulder joint, and our shoulder joint is not as strong as a lot of other joints that we have, like our hips or the knees. Our shoulders really only connected to our body through our collarbone. So this is gonna help protect those joints. 3, 2, 1. All right. Getting ready, same thing, other leg up, and you can either hold your leg up or cross your feet, whatever feels more comfortable and available to you today. 3, 2, 1. So switching legs here, keeping our core nice and tight. So I like to imagine what happens when we get a little bit of the curve in the back as we're lowering. I like to imagine bringing the butt towards the belly button, lock that in with your core. So that way the back is nice and flat. Throwing yourself, lowering yourself. That sounds like I said throwing, but I didn't, I promise. We're going nice and slow, lowering towards the ground. Like I said, the more we can control our weight down, that's still gonna help us strengthen those chest muscles. 3, 2, 1. Great job. Up next, we have dead bugs. We're gonna hold at the bottom for 3 seconds. And then we got one more round, and then we're gonna cool down and breathe. 3, 2, 1. So hands above shoulders. Again, belly button pressed into the ground, extending out, holding for 3 seconds. Exhale, zip that core, bring the leg in. So we're coming out. 1, 2, 3. Exhale, come back in. 1, 2, 3. And back in. Great job. Holding is sometimes the hardest part. You can tell, I feel like I'm far enough away where you can't see my core is for sure shaking as I'm holding my leg out straight. 3, 2, 1. All right. Back up on our feet. Last round here. Staggered squats. Working those legs. 3, 2, 1. So still focusing, we want that chest to be nice and tall. I like to say wear your logo proud, but we can always pretend like we have an orange here or an egg. We're cracking the egg, squeezing the orange. Whole foot on the ground, lowering 3 seconds. Push the ground through that heel, big toe, little toe. Another important note here, we want to make sure that as we stand up, if you notice, my shoulders, my hips, and my feet are all in one straight line. I see it all the time where people explode up, push those hips forward. That puts all that stress on the low back. So want to lower nice and slow, chest to open, pushing, exploding up, but still staying nice and tall. 3, 2, 1. All right, awesome job. Done with that leg. Switch into the other side. One more round of this. And then we're done with lower body. 3, 2, 1. So switching our legs. Again, to make sure our back is not curved, butt to belly button. And 1, 2, 3. Push the ground through that heel. So I often see this, that as we're at the bottom, I tend to see that we focus more on the toes. That's going to put pressure on the knee. So we really want to drive through that heel, pushing the heel into the ground, but keeping those toes on the ground. So sometimes, again, I see that the heel drive, the toes come up. We really want everything to stay on the ground. So that's why I do say heel, big toe, little toe, pushing the ground away, but really driving that heel through. 3, 2, 1. All right. Done with those. Check it off the list. Lower body is done. We got 2 more push-ups and then dead bugs. And then, like I said, we're going to do a little bit of stretching and then breathing. 3, 2, 1. So whichever leg you would like, slowly lower. 3 seconds, coming back. We want to keep, again, that core tight, so butt to belly button. Lock it in, push your belly button into your spine, lowering 3 seconds, and back up. Really trying to control your body weight down, elbows nice and tight. Oh, that was too fast. My chest is really feeling it. We did a lot of push-ups yesterday in class during exercise with exos. So I think my chest is sore from that. 3, 2, 1. Okay, I let myself fall on that one. You can always tell when I'm getting tired of push-ups because they are not my favorite, AKA I really don't like them, but we're doing them because they make us better. 3, 2, 1. Sometimes we really just got to do things that we don't really like doing, and that gets us out of our comfort zone, and it helps us build some mental fortitude and strength, which can always help with other areas and aspects of our life. And I think that is one of my favorite parts of strength training, is the ability to learn and use the skills that we use and learn in the gym and apply them to everyday life. Again, I love the mental aspect of fitness, the mindset portion. It's all super important. 3, 2, 1. All right, last movement here, flipping on our backs for some dead bugs, holding 3 seconds at the bottom. 3, 2, 1. So opposite arm, opposite leg. 1, 2, 3. Zip the core, come in, exhale as we come up. 1, 2, 3. Another thing that I have also noticed is the more we bring this leg in, the less core activation we have. So keeping those knees directly above the hips keeps our core activated. Coming down for 3 seconds. Exhaling, coming back. Great job. We're going to do 2 more. And last one right here. 3, 2, 1. That is going to be it for class. So go ahead, grab a sip of water if you need it. And we're going to make our way on our hands and knees. So we were just on our back. We're on the hands and knees. We're just going to stretch out our upper body a little bit. And then we're going to go ahead and lay back down on the ground on our backs. So what we're going to do is we're going to take our right hand. We're going to reach through in between the left arm, left leg. Bring that head towards the ground. We're going to push the back of the hand into the ground. Pull away with the upper back. So we're going to do 2 breaths here. And 1 more deep breath. And as we finish that exhale, we can come back to that starting position. And then other side, reaching in between the right arm, right leg, push the hand into the ground, pull away with the upper back. That's going to help us stretch out our shoulders and also into right behind our shoulder blade. Again, 2 deep breaths. We're going to go ahead and do 1 more big deep breath here. And as we finish that exhale, bring that hand back up underneath your shoulder. And then we're going to go ahead and lay on our backs for some breathing here. So what I like to do when we're doing deep breathing like this, I like to place my left hand over my heart, my right hand on my stomach. And so what this does, what we want to do is we want to make sure that the right hand on your stomach is rising up higher and sooner than the right hand does. So when we inhale, we want to breathe into the diaphragm, into our belly, so down here. So we want our right hand to be raised higher. And what we're going to do is we're going to inhale through the nose into the belly for 4 seconds. So we're going to inhale, hold that for 2, and we're going to exhale for 6. So again, we're going to inhale, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that's the pace I want us to keep. So you can keep kind of counting in your head. Again, in through the nose, into the belly. So our left hand should rise up. And by left, I mean right hand, sorry. Our right hand should rise up. And the reason I like to make the exhale count longer than the inhale count is it helps our body go from our fight or flight, our stressed response throughout the body. It takes us from that space and into our rest and digest, or our parasympathetic nervous system state. And that's where, if we are after a workout or it's the middle of a long day, we're feeling so stressed out, doing some deep breathing can help just reset our bodies. And by doing that, we can then reset our mind as well. And when we finish a workout class, I do like to always do this, whether it's a guided breathing class or not. But the more we focus on making those exhales longer than the inhales, we're ready to go eat our lunch after this. It is lunchtime. So it's really important to make sure that our breathing has calmed the body down so we can intake the food that we are eating. And then that will also help us when we do go eat after this fast. That will also help with our body's stress response. It's totally natural thing, but we can also kind of control that. So this is where we focus on exhaling longer than the inhale. We're going to do 2 more deep breaths in that way, and I'm going to be quiet for them. So we'll have a little bit of silence as we finish out our breaths. As we have finished that last exhale, we can gently start to wake the body up. So you can wiggle your fingers and toes, move your head side to side. Feel free to stay laying on the ground on your back. More than welcome to do that. Highly recommend always closing your eyes a little bit, take a nap. But if you're ready, when you're ready, roll over slowly onto your side. You can return to seated, kneeling, or standing. That is going to be all the time we have for today's class. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you had as good of a workout as I did. Lots of single leg stuff, so that always is great for building out and evening out our sides, building out some balance. So great job. Thank you for coming, and I'll see you in the class soon.